Good morning, Zompoc.
Good morning, Zompoc.
Good morning, Zompocs.
I've just...
Hello.
You know, when your brain just falls out your ears, that's literally what my brain has just gone. Good morning, Zompoc.
Hi.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say.
You can say whatever you want. Good morning.
Good morning, Zompoc,
Zompoc.
even though it's the evening. Good evening, Zompoc.
Maybe we should change it. Let me do it again. Start over. Right, let's pretend we haven't done this one. Good evening, Zompoc.
You know that is going to fuck with so many people's heads.
Oh, so confusing. Is it morning? Is it evening? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But let's just stick with the GMZ. We've built the GMZ brand, so let's just stick with the GMZ.
Let's not change it to G-Easy. That sounds...
G-Easy.
That's like a gangster name.
Yeah, G-Easy. Yeah, you know me. Yeah, G-Easy. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It sounds way better. I want that name. That's my
You want G-Easy?
G-Easy. Damn. Damn, son.
Damn.
Anyway, good morning, Zompoc. It is another episode. I don't know what we're on, like episode 6 trillion.
Who knows?
Sure.
I've lost count. I've lost the will to live. I've lost my marbles.
Oh, excellent. You've lost your marbles. This week, we're going to do more panties because we need to get through the panties.
We're pretty much nearly finished.
We're pretty much nearly finished. But before we do more panties, Bex, in her infinite wisdom, thought that she would do something fun this week and open up our group to asking us any questions that they felt that they wanted to ask us.
This actually wasn't my idea. This was Di's idea.
Oh, was it?
I'd never have come up with this idea because I know what a bunch of absolute whoppers our group are and the kind of questions we'd be asked. But it was like a bit of peer pressure from Di.
Yeah. I mean, I had nothing to do with this. I didn't even know. So
I just thought I'd do it.
This is a surprise. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what questions our Facebook group decided to ask us. Bex, you can do the first one. Go on.
So you're going to ask... Am I going to ask you one, then you're going to ask me one, and blah, blah,
yeah,
blah?
let's do. We'll take turns. Yeah.
Okay, so Shell Kerwin has asked you, why did your wife wax your nipples?
Okay, this. I know people have been dying to know this, but it's nothing that complicated, right? So, as you know, as all the listeners know, my body is hairless. Okay, like my chest body is hairless.
I've likened you to the weird aliens in Prometheus before, haven't I?
Yes. So I have no chest hair to speak of, right? I've got a little bit of hair on my legs, and obviously the usual area that has hair, your male genitalia area and under your arms. That's normal. Nice. I'm just trying to share. So, the other day, I was taking my shirt off in the kitchen I got a stain on my shirt, right? So my wife said, take the shirt off and I'll put the vanish on it and put it in the washing machine. Mm-hmm. Me being me, rather than go up to bed, I just started stripping off in the kitchen. Yeah. So anyway, to which my wife was horrified that I had a single hair poking out of my left nipple.
Okay.
She's like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, I don't know.
One solitary hair.
One solitary hair poking out like a zombie hand out of the dirt. It was like that. It was like, ah! And my wife was freaked out. She was like, we need to get rid of this. And she tried to pull it out with tweezers and it just wasn't coming out. It was like stuck in there.
That was going to be my next question. I was like, why not the tweezers? But obviously you're explaining now.
It just wouldn't come out. It was like a bit of cabling coming out. I was worried if you're going to pull it any harder, there was just like, it was going to take out my heart out of my chest. It was going to be on the end of it. It was horrific. So Sue said, aha, I have just the thing. And she went and got a wax strip and put one over my nipple. And then she went, well, fuck it, you might as well do both. And she went and got the other one. And then she'd done both nipples. And then she had great pleasure ripping them out really, really hard. And it really hurt. I was surprisingly in a lot of pain.
One fucking hair hurt.
Well,
such a pussy.
It's a sensitive area and there was waxing going on, So she ripped them off and it really hurt. But what an improvement. What an improvement. What
an improvement that getting rid of that one hair made to your life.
Genuinely, that area, that booby area is nice and soft now. It's lovely. So I'd recommend it. Personally, I don't know why we're not all doing it more often. So yeah, that's why.
Mine come out with tweezers, so it's fine.
Oh, That's unpleasant. Okay, so let's see what the next question is.
At least we have the answer, GMZ group. We have the nipple waxing answer.
Okay, so the next one is again from Shell, Shell Cohen, and it says, Bex, when did you last have a poo and where on the stool chart was it? I'm not actually that bothered to know the answer, but Shell asked.
Okay, about an hour and a half ago and a type 4.
I don't know the difference between a type 1 and a type 5. Do I need to know?
So there's something...
No, I don't want to know.
Do you not want to know?
Go on, tell me.
Do you want to know? So there's something we use in healthcare called the Bristol stool chart.
Yeah.
So it ranks the different types of poo on a scale of 1 to 7.
Yeah.
So your type 1 is what can only be akin to, let's say, rabbit droppings. It's small, it's hard, it's like little pebbles that just kind of, you have to really strain to get out. And
like raisins.
Type 7, that is pretty much just like pouring coffee down your bog.
Oh, God, okay. So
and
somewhere in
between.
Nice, that's unpleasant. Okay, your question.
Hang on, I need to find one now. Are we doing a serious one? Or are we going to do a funny one?
Do whatever you want to do, whatever's next.
Right, so Diane, who is the creator of this shitstorm that we're doing at the moment, says, what is the point of living in a zombie apocalypse-like situation when everyone is dead and there's no hope? It's fucking...
bleak.
Depressed me, man, with that question.
I
asked it.
I actually do have the answer to this. Mm-hmm. If everybody is dead, then you're dead, so it doesn't matter. So because you're all you're all dead. But if you're alive and there's other people alive, the answer is simple, isn't it? The point of living is for other people. That's the point. I mean, that's what the life is all about. It's about people. If you didn't have other people, then yes, life is bleak. But if there's still people, then life's worth living.
Well, it depends if they're cunts or not.
Yes.
It's not worth living if you're surrounded by cunts. Or Mormons.
Well, there is somebody who's listening to this podcast right now, surrounded by Mormon cunts, who is going to be hanging before the end of the show.
Because we've said basically their life is not worth living.
Yeah, that's great. All I can imagine now is their feet dangling. Great. Okay, another question. Whoops. Diane again. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Diana says, how has the success of GMZ and the ensuing fame and fortune changed you? Do you miss the days when you were a nobody and you could be naked without the paparazzi snapping photos of you?
I do. I really do miss it, because if I honestly see one more picture of my minge online, I'm going to go mad, man. I'm going to have to get like a cease and desist order on the press.
To be fair, you've got to stop sending out photos of your minge to the press.
Well, yeah, but they should only use it in the way I've told them to use it, which is, wanking only.
It's a different type of headshot, what you're sending out.
I don't like to think fame's changed me. I feel like I'm more confident as a person for the whole kind of GMZ thing. There is things that I've done that I would never ever have thought that I would ever do. And I've also got a really interesting thing to talk about in job interviews, which I had today, and they say, tell me about yourself, and instead of just rattling off a really boring 13-year history of healthcare, I say, I also do a podcast.
Oh.
Sets me apart from my peers.
It does. It makes you stand out as being a unique individual, which you are.
It does. So it's only ever been a good thing. It's never, because obviously we're not famous, so nothing can really go to my head, but it's only ever GMZ has transformed my life in a confidence way. Okay.
So you feel more like a complete and rounded human being?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Now
I'm glad.
I have zombies in my life.
Ah, excellent. Okay, so whose question is it now? Is it my question for you or your question? No, because you just answered a question, so you've got to ask me a question.
Fuck's sake, Shell and a fucking pegging.
See, but no, the listeners don't know the reference, what you're referring to when you just said Shell and her pegging.
Yes, they will.
Okay, cool.
So, Stan asked, if you were a cannibal, which recipes that you're familiar with do you believe would work best with human flesh and why?
Okay. which recipes am I familiar with? Well, I quite like cooking Korean food at the moment. I'm into bulgogi. So if you've ever had bulgogi, like it's like Korean street food. You have it with like noodles or rice. So and you have like this bulgogi mix. You just buy it and just fucking throw it on the meat. But it's, I reckon that would work with almost any meat because it works well with chicken, it works well with pork, it works well with beef.
Human.
Beef bulgogi is the most popular. So I reckon bulgogi human flesh would be just as awesome.
I was thinking more of I was going to say bulgogi carbonara, but more of like a human flesh carbonara.
Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at a question for you. Why does all these questions involve what happens if Marc gets bitten by a zombie? Why is it always me that gets bitten by a zombie in the questions?
Because it's you.
Okay. Giles Batchelor asks, if you had to choose between Donald Trump for sex or Theresa May, who would you choose? And then David McCluskey said, I'll probably go with a filthy weird threesome.
No, because then that would be two people that I'm repulsed by in one room. To be honest, Theresa May.
Yeah? What?
I don't think I could deal with Donald Trump panting away on top of me.
What about his little hands touching you?
No.
You know, like the special hand. He'd have two special hands. That's my special hand.
No.
And he'd have two of them.
And I read an article in, I think it was the Metro. Might have been the Metro. I think it was Metro yesterday about some kind of porn star / stripper / prostitute, I don't know, who slept with him and said that he resembled the Toad character from Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Toad from Super Mario Brothers. Yeah,
yeah, that's what his dick looked like, and I can't deal with that.
A small mushroom.
No. Although maybe I suppose it wouldn't go in very far, so you wouldn't. Is it really having sex if it doesn't go in that much?
Not that much. I think as soon as it goes in, whether it's that much or not, that counts. I'm just saying that once it's in, isn't it? You can't say, well, we
even
didn't
if
really.
it's not really in. How small are we talking here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to think about his penis anymore.
I don't want.
I've already given it too much thought, if I'm honest. So we're going to carry on with Jocelyn Dex's brilliant Zombie Ate My Panties, which is fantastic. Bex, I've been thinking about this, right? Obviously, we're quite a way into the book now.
Yeah.
Can you do a little recap and tell people where we're up to?
So
I've literally put you on the spot because I never told you I was going to say that. But yeah, I think it'd be a good idea if we could do it.
That's fine. So we started reading Jocelyn Dex's A Zombie Ate My Panties, which is a zombie erotica novel. It started off with the zombie apocalypse has happened and there are survivors and they've all kind of, I don't know, tried to rebuild the world. But they're trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Rehabilitate the zombies. Rehabilitate zombies. So they've developed a serum that they have to inject and they're hoping that these zombies are going to become more human. Unfortunately for, what's her name?
Trista.
Yeah. You don't hear her name very much in she's always referred to as like her, she, so that's why I'm not knowing her name. Her zombie person that she is rehabilitating. She's teaching him how to cook, how to do some washing, how to go to the shops. He is obsessed with rubbing his erection in her arse crack and slapping his penis in her face. So that's not going too well for Trista. Actually, no, it is going well for her now because she's having a lot of orgasms. So it's cool.
Yes. So she's enjoying it. When we left it last, he had... I believe had his face covered in her juices and then had
like
put
her orange juices?
Yes, and then put his penis on her face and said, "Taste." That was where we left it. So here we go. You ready for me to carry on?
I'm just going to have a sip of Pepto just to keep the nausea away.
Yeah, I'm just going to take some crack cocaine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just have a sip of my beer.
I'm just going to snort some crack before we start.
Okay, I'm just going to stab myself in the head.
Okay. When she sucked the head into her mouth, his eyes widened. His face contorted into what almost looked like pain.
Well, she's doing it wrong then, isn't she? Really?
As his salty pre-cum coated her tongue. He thrust against her mouth, pushing deeper as she cupped his balls and tried not to gag.
So why do men think this is sexy? Why do men think that shoving a penis all the way down a woman's throat so that she gags is sexy? No, there's nothing sexy about vomit balls.
I'm saying nothing. I don't want to be judged. You're judging me with your laughter.
I am.
Okay. His moans mixed with grunts.
Okay, can you do the moan and the mix of the for me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, his moans mixed with the grunts until his body tense, stilled, and a howling sound escaped him. Do you want the howling sound as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do the full mixture.
Okay. Sounds like me after a night out.
Yeah. Hot cum filled her mouth, some shooting to the back of her throat. Once she milked him dry, he gazed down at her, amazement clearing his eyes. He pulled his still hard cock from her mouth, grabbed it and rubbed it across her lips and cheek.
There's nothing sexier than being rubbed in the face by a giant cock full of cum and saliva.
He stroked himself, slowly at first, shivers raking his body, then the stroke sped up. "More," he said as he tried to push it back. As he tried to push it back into her mouth.
Just get in there.
Still catching her breath, she turned away and was trying to figure out how to explain to him.
Fucking suffocator at this rate, isn't it?
She was trying to figure out how to explain to him that her mouth needed a break.
Yeah,
when
it's been running itself all week.
When he hopped on top of her and started humping around.
Armpits and bum, stomach,
back of the knee.
The back of the knee. There's nothing sexier than the back of a knee. With the curves and the...
Okay. "More," he said again.
More.
Hey, she said. She'd known they'd eventually get to full-on sex, and while she hadn't expected it today, she couldn't deny wanting it.
Surprise! It's happening today. Congratulations!
Hold on. She bent her knees and spread her legs wide. Lift up a little. She tapped his hip.
Like she's at the gynecologist.
She tapped his hip and raised hers to show him where she meant.
Well, like like a runway.
When he did, she reached between them and guided him to her entrance.
Ah. Yes, like an automatic door.
Her body thrilled when he slipped inside her wetness. Okay.
I'm not sure what that noise was.
His lips pulled back in a snarl, air hissing through his teeth. He jerked around on top of her in an uncoordinated series of thrusts until he found a rhythm. And what a good rhythm it was. It was Rhythm is a Dancer.
Like rhythm and blues.
She met him, thrust for thrust. Their bodies banged together almost painfully.
Yeah, she just want to do all the work.
Skin against skin, smacking sounds.
Oh no, that's really wrong.
Reverberating off the walls, almost drowning out her squeals and his moans.
What do her neighbours think?
Good, he huffed. He bent down and licked her lips, then shoved his tongue in her mouth. She tried to guide him, but he was too excited, too frenzied. They could work on kissing next time. That's right. Let's skip the kissing.
Out the way, get the kissing. The kissing can wait. It's fine. Just fuck her right. It's fine.
And yeah, there would definitely be a next time. She'd been putting off actual sex, waiting for him to progress, to be able to string a semi-intelligent sentence together. At that moment, she decided his 3-word sentence in the grocery store was good enough. Yes.
Wow, yes, she would. She is a woman of low standards.
There's a word for women like that. He can say 3 words. That's good enough for me. He broke their rhythm to slam deep inside her and gride against her.
Oh, it sounds painful.
Hitting her just...
Her poor cervix.
Hitting her in just the right spot. That's good, she gasped. Do it again.
Oh, okay, cervix likes it.
He did. Over and over until the dam inside her burst and she was vaguely aware of shouting his name and praising him. Zeke! Oh, God damn it, Zeke!
Didn't realise there was a beaver living up there building a dam.
God damn it, Zeke! Oh my God! That was me doing an impression. Oh my God! Oh my God, Zeke! You're so good! You're so good! Fuck me again, Zeke! You're so good! You're the best
you're doing so well! Well done!
Wow, you can tell I've never actually been with a woman who had an orgasm because that's what I think it's like.
Yeah.
Seconds later... Let's just skip over that. Let's cut that bit out as well. Seconds later, he joined her. His body went rigid above her. His lips peeled back. His eyes rolling to the back of his head as he made a sound. Not quite a moan or a growl, more like a... What?
There seemed like there was a bit of an inflection at the end of that. Was he asking a question?
Read it.
That orgasm?
Read it. Tell me what it says. Oh, okay.
Which is pretty much how all the men sound at the end.
No, so this is just me not recognising it. I thought it was, I thought it was more like an explosion of rainbows and butterflies, but really it's just like, ugh. Okay, cool. It's just like, okay. Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. His muscles twitched. He clicked his teeth. That's you. And for a second, looked as though he might lose it and take a bite out of her.
Ooh.
But then he sagged on top of her, breathing heavily into her ear. His heart thumped hard against her chest. Trista. Mine.
Creepy.
So he had been using mine properly before. Little twinges shot through her chest. Could a zombie at this level of rehabilitation be capable of possessive feelings, caring, concern for another? What was she supposed to do with that? Her gut told her that once she'd been rehabilitated, he'd be a fantastic man, one she could fall hard for, but she couldn't fall for him in his current condition.
I feel like he'd be a dick. He strikes me as like a masochistic dick.
Yeah, I still think he's probably not a real zombie, and he just likes having
like
sex.
before he in the zombie apocalypse, before the zombie apocalypse happened, he was like all, jumped upon roids, and he was like big and muscly, and he's like strutted into bars and just like felt women up. I just feel like he's like that kind of guy. Wow,
you're really down on Zeke. You're not a big fan of Zeke.
I am.
Yeah. Okay, I'm pro Zeke.
It's kind of the penis slapping in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like I reckon he probably did that in real life, before he was a zombie.
I think
slap his penis in people's faces.
I'm pro Zeke, obviously. You're anti Zeke, so I think we should have two sides to the rest of this story. So we should have the pro Zeke side.
I'm not really pro Trista either, to be honest.
Oh, okay, no problem. You're just anti. You don't want anybody. Okay.
Anti everything.
And once he was declared rehabilitated, could he even still want her? She didn't have the answers to any of those questions. I don't know.
She got big tits, because I reckon that's probably what he likes.
Yeah, he likes the tits and he likes the knob in her face.
Yeah.
She didn't have the answers to any of those questions yet, but when he rolled off of her and pulled her body tight against his, she decided to just enjoy the moment and let the rest unfold as it would. That's the end.
That is the end.
That is the end of Zombie Ate My Panties. I think it...
So basically, we now need Jocelyn to get it together and write a second one, please, because...
Aren't there more? Aren't there more stories of Zeke? I thought there were.
Is there?
I think there's more stories of Zeke.
It's coming off my Kindle. If you'd like to read more about Trista and Zeke, please... Ooh.
There's more.
Maybe we need to read the second one.
Okay, so I think we should read this out. So Zombie Ate My Panties, It's the End, by Jocelyn Dex. And it said, if you'd like to read more about Trista and Zeke, please check out My Zombie Valentine and Trick or Zombie by Jocelyn Dex at jocelyndex.com. So everybody should go there.
We obviously need to read those two.
Well, it's Halloween soon.
If Jocelyn will let us.
Yeah.
But she's awesome, so I'm pretty sure she would.
Trick or Zombie is the Halloween, but then obviously we might have skipped some vital information if we don't do Zombie Valentine. So we might have to find out which is the linear one to do next. But I really enjoyed reading that. It was a lot of fun. It was
fun. I loved it.
Got really pervy towards the end, and I got a little bit too into it, if I'm honest. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. Don't stand up. Don't stand up too quick. All the blood will rush to your head.
Oh my god. So yeah, that it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm still pro Zeke. I know you're anti Zeke. But yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm anti Zeke. I feel like I'd be anti Zeke as a general human being. I feel like from the way they've described him in the book, he wouldn't be someone I'd want to hang around with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't be very intelligent. And he wouldn't respect women.
Only you, Bex.
That's how I feel.
Only you, Bex, could imagine what the zombie was like before, even though it doesn't mention what he was like before. Imagine him and still have a feminine issue with him.
Yeah, I have a feminine issue with everyone, though, to be fair. Everyone. I have a feminine issue with myself most days.
I've been there.
I'm such a bad feminist.
Yeah, I know. Do you ever have that thing where there's like inappropriate jokes about women and it's funny? I mean, we had one in the group the other day that as a meme went up and it was funny, but you do think to yourself, like, as someone I've often said about being feminist, and you've said about being a feminist, it's like I'm laughing, but I feel like I shouldn't. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, all the time. That's why I'm saying I'm a bad one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm also a bad male feminist, which is even more awkward.
Feminist.
Yeah, because some, like people say, well, that's a feminist thing to say, and I think, no, I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, I get confused. So I'm going to read what's at the end of the book, because I think I know we talk about Jocelyn a lot because she wrote this book, but I think we need to tell the listeners about the author. So what it says at the end is, about the author. Jocelyn was born in Iowa and currently resides in hot as hell, Texas.
Oh.
That's the poshest that's ever been said. Hot as hell, Texas.
Hot as hell, Texas.
Hot as hell, innit? Hot as hell in Texas.
Is that the city name?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I live in hot as hell, Texas.
Wow, you're really good at accents. You should do that for a living. She shares a home with her very own 6'4" alpha male.
She's got her own Zeke.
Yeah, she's got her own Zeke. Maybe Zeke was based on this alpha. Maybe.
Oh, I hope not, because then all of my comments.
Yeah, and then you're gonna look like a proper arsehole. So that's funny.
Well, I would look like a proper arsehole.
Oh, that's funny. And very members of spoiled cats and dogs. Jocelyn writes paranormal and contemporary romances that include humour, lust, love, and 4-letter words on the way to happily ever after. Well, I think that sums her up. Humour, lust, love, and 4-letter words. Brilliant.
That's literally Jocelyn in a nutshell.
It is. So it's fantastic. Everybody should go download the books now. Go download more of them. Tell us how much you enjoyed them. Give them some 5-star reviews. Actually, if you can, I know a lot of you may not have bought the book, but if you have the ability to go give a review, go give it a 5-star review. We've literally read it all out to you. You enjoyed it.
Exactly.
So
you don't need to do anything else. Just go to fucking Amazon and just put 5 stars.
5 stars.
It's not fucking hard.
Yeah.
I've just done it while Marc was talking bollocks.
Yeah, well, that's not difficult. I talk a lot of bollocks. Okay, I think is that the end? Is that the end of our podcast? Are we done this week? I
feel like we've come. What's the word I'm looking for? Hang on. I feel like I'm missing something now that we're not going to be reading Jocelyn's book anymore.
Yeah.
We do need to read the other ones because I'm going to miss it.
Yeah. We could read other stuff. We could... no, it's not going to be as good. We need to read more of this.
I wonder if we can actually find some like really disgusting zombie erotica online. I bet we could.
Yeah, I mean, Jocelyn's stuff is fun and it's sexy, but it is fun sexy and it's well written. But I think
it's fun sexy, but it's well written as well. So maybe
Yeah.
we could find some like really badly written
something.
stuff that would be really funny. Because I feel bad I'm not even taking the mick out of Jocelyn's stuff but I feel like I have to try and find the funny in it because that's the kind of podcast we do.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that because it's so well written.
Yeah.
But if we find some like really bad zombie erotica, then I wouldn't
Feel so bad,
feel
right?
bad about it.
But then I'm pretty 100% sure that if I ask that person to give us permission to slag off their stuff, they're going to say no.
But if it's online and it's like just randomly on Google, I'm
Oh,
just gonna care.
what you're saying? Yeah, I get you. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do that then. Let's do that.
The domestic cat is a small, typically furry, carnivorous mammal.
What the fuck just happened?
I don't know, but my fucking Google was just like having a bit of a spaz.
Did it just tell me something about a small carnivorous furry animal?
It was saying something about cats being small, furry, carnivorous animals.
It wasn't. They didn't overhear us talking about
we
pussy,
should just
did
like
it?
look on Google.
Google's like, pussy. Small carnivorous animal. No, that's not the one we were talking
Is that
about.
what I said? What I said to make it talk. Oh my god.
Wow, that's
Like I was
clever.
listening to my entire life. Maybe I should get rid of it.
It's okay, we're recording our entire lives at the same time. Okay, right,
Google's
I
listening
think
to
that
everything I say.
I think that should be the end of this week's podcast, and I'm going to go edit. I've got a lot of editing to do this week, so yeah, it's going to be fun. I shall go do that immediately, if not sooner. Thank you very much for being a wonderful host, Bex.
Okay, thanks.
One day you're going to turn around and go,
No,
thank
sorry,
you.
I'm just sitting there thinking, why has Google started talking about cats? Yes, thank you so much for joining us, dear listeners.
Yes, thank you.
We love
listeners. Thank you to Jocelyn Dex. Thank you to everybody who wrote a question. Thank you to Bex. Thank you.
No, not thank you to everyone who wrote a question because the questions were really shit.
No, we're not thanking Shell for fucking rude feces related questions.
No, do not thank Shell for anything. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay, but thanks everybody for listening. It's been a great episode. I really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll see you next time round. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.